we are back with another minifigure lot, and I was just looking at this, and that is actually fake. You can see no logo on the studs, and it all just feels kind of off. So definitely not Lego. Throw that in the garbage there. And yeah, so we will start this off because with dumping the Lego into a box, because I forgot to do that again in the last one. So that is now in a box, and I just tried to wipe off some dust that was on my screen, but since it's on my screen, not on the table, that didn't work out too well. So we will now grab this bag and this bag. We'll start with this bag here. It has more minifigures in it, and starting off strong with some Playmobil, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Playmobil. We'll put it in the... I know we got a Playmobil container somewhere. I think right there. You find it somewhat often in the lots. So we will now dump this bag out. Here. Seeing some solid ones already off the top, and there's some paper in the bag. There. Move that off to the side. And we will get started on this video and see what we can find. I always set the stuff a little bit too low. Yeah, let's get started with a big fig. Is this one real? Yep, it is real, so that's always good. I'll have to check the condition when it gets listed, but I think if it is in good condition, then I think it's probably like 20, maybe 30 bucks for that one. I haven't gotten that one before, but I don't really get that many big figs in general. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, can never go wrong with that. And then I think that there is the torso of the one villain from, I don't actually think it's the same arc as that one, but still from Ninjago. Then we got parts of Medusa there. That's a solid one if you can complete it. But since it's a CMF, I probably would just sell the parts. Then we've got that guy. Can't remember his name. I don't think it's too valuable though, but for some reason, whenever I find him, he is just completely destroyed. So we'll have to see on that one. These heads are just rolling everywhere. Then that torso. It's a bit unfamiliar. I'm going to look that one up. When a torso is unfamiliar, it's best to look it up and see if you can start to remember what it is for the next time you find it. So we will just check real quick. I'm thinking it's Ninjago, but we will see. From 2014. It's actually Lord of the Rings. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. And the complete torso is $9 to basically like $20, give or take. So this is from Balin the Dwarf. So that is a solid one there. And yeah, this in here, probably odds are it is brittle. So there is that. But still a nice find. This one appears to be in very good condition, but odds are very high it will crack when I try to put an arm in it. Then we got another Medusa, so that is really nice. There. We got some parts there. That there is from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think that one was in a poly bag, if I'm not mistaken. Got a castle torso here. I always like to just keep the castle torso separate, because for those torsos and a couple other torsos, like specifically for the castle ones though, you can usually just once you have a torso in good condition, you can almost guarantee complete it, because pretty much everything else is relatively common. So that is always a good one to get. And then we've got another torso there from that guy. Then I think that is another Lord of the Rings torso. And I was aware that there was some Lord of the Rings in this lot, but I can't say I know exactly how much. I knew exactly how much there might be. Think that is some more Lord of the Rings parts again. So very strong on the Lord of the Rings stuff. And the Star Wars from the previous ones. And then another castle torso there. Star Wars torso there. That there's definitely not Lego. Not just custom printed. It's a complete knockoff there of, I think that's meant to be Deadpool. Move that off to the side. Then some mummy parts there. I think that's a bit more Lord of the Rings there. Then a older Forstman torso, another castle figure. I think that is a Palpatine torso. Electro, I want to say on that. I don't think it's too expensive, but it's one of the fancier looking minifigures. Got a Zane headgear, but yeah, I think it's a bit yellowed. Got the zombie CMF. And the head went over here. Managed to catch it this time. Or, well, it fell into a container that I could access is probably a better way of saying it. Then I've got the Flying Dutchman from SpongeBob. I got a head from Lord of the Rings there. That is probably not Lego. Interesting one there. Then we got another castle torso. Always great to get those. Sell well, worth a bunch, and most importantly, they look real cool most of the time. Then another castle torso from the coolest castle line released. Another castle torso. Legs from Castle and an old plume. Rocket raccoon head. I think that's the torso from the one Indiana Jones minifigure. Torso is cracked on the back. Seems quite somewhat common for this torso. Star Wars torso there again, I believe. Unfortunately damaged Anakin legs. Those are one of his better legs, but it's completely broken. But on top of them, there was a Anakin torso. I think that's one of the good ones. So that is good there. We'll see if we can wash it up. But if so, that is one that we use all the time. Then Star Wars torso. Another Playmobil figure. Sumo CMF, I believe. And then another Lord of the Rings torso there. Another castle torso and serpentine legs. No matter what type of serpentine legs, they're always good ones. More castle, another castle torso. Friends. There's a hairpiece from Medusa. So that is a complete Medusa. I want to say the last time I checked, there's maybe $30 to $40 for Medusa. Not entirely sure though. Then this guy from Star Wars just needs his helmet. Fairly common one though, I think. Then another Playmobil. And another dress piece. I'm not sure if it's this one or a different one that has two slightly different versions. I have to look a bit more into that. And there's more castle parts. Gandalf torso. Chima. Another castle torso. Chrome knife, put that on the side, and I have no idea where that went. That is hiding. I know it's probably visible on camera, but I wasn't looking through the camera. Oh, there we go. There's that. That is a Duplo figure. Don't find them too often. Another keychain there. That is some Lord of the Rings parts again. Real nice find. Forestman. Another castle torso. That there is one of the Chima ones that actually has a little value, I believe. And that there is not one I was expecting. That there is the Troll Queen, I believe. And seems to be in very nice condition. And I believe that one is like maybe like 30, 40 bucks, maybe a bit more. I'm not entirely sure. Never actually found that one complete before. So that is a nice one. Then a Vampire Bride. I think that was about, I think I sold it for $22.50 last time, so a fairly decent one there. Then a older castle one. Another set of legs for her, I believe. Got a monkey. Another castle torso there. I think that's about it from that bag, so we'll move that off to the side. I'm not entirely sure whose torso that one is. Probably Lord of the Rings, but I will take a look. Dark green. Interesting one there. It is from Lord of the Rings. Which one is it from? Probably a Hobbit, I'm thinking. It is from Dwalin. So there's that one there. And complete, that one's $30 to $55. And I think that this part is, I think the head is not too difficult to get. I'll just check. Yeah, the head's one of the ones that's of Lord of the Rings that is slightly easier to get. But the torso probably is going to crack. And the beard is about $13 to $20, so it'll be a bit of an expensive one to complete, so probably won't, but still a nice torso there. I'm gonna move this to the side, and yeah, most of the stuff just in this one here seems to be in very good condition, so that is always a very good plus. But the heads keep trying to roll away, so there is that. And now we will take a look at the accessory bag, which is oftentimes a lot quite exciting, because a lot of the parts here can easily get missed that are worth quite a bit. You aren't guaranteed to find them or anything, but there's quite a few accessories that are worth a lot more than many minifigures, so always fun to see if we can find any more of those. And this one was $1.25. They spelt the plural of Lego wrong. It's a interesting store then. But then looking inside, we'll open this up, and the question is this worth $1.25? This lot was from America, so it would be $1.25 USD. Starting strong with a brown spear, that would pay for the entire thing. Then an owl, then a brown lance, it's just a standard reddish brown bar, but a hilt and a set of metallic legs, and then a firefighter helmet that looks to be filled with something and yellowed. Yeah, that one I'd say would have probably been worth that price. Then there's a solid one. That is the coffin lid of the vampire. We got some coattails there. Then a Roman helmet. Those ones are like 10, 15 bucks, I think. Then another one, put them side by side of those lids. And I think someone actually wanted me to set this aside from this bag here, so I'm going to keep that on the side. See if I can remember if there's other things in here as well. I'm not sure though. Then we got a trumpet and one of those helmets, always good finds. Then we got the idol from Indiana Jones. See if I can remove it. That might not be Lego, or maybe that's the sprue it's from. I'm not sure. The printing looks a little odd. just trying to take a look. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is Lego or not. Interesting one there. I think I got a couple of them in here. Let's see if I can find real quick. And we can use it as an example. Okay, here's one here. So this here is what a real one looks like from Lego. And so yeah, it is something different. The design is completely different and everything like that. So yeah, this is not Lego. I have no idea what that is supposed to be though. I mean, it's probably from the same Indiana Jones thing, but I don't know what it would have been released in. That there is a Moro armor. Always sell his parts really well, and I think that one goes for like 20-30 bucks or so. So nice one there. That is the hairpiece from one of the Lord of the Rings minifigures. But yeah, I remember when I got this lot, I was very surprised at how cheap it went, considering all of the stuff in it. So yeah, it definitely seems to be good. Probably, almost for sure, a top 5 purchase from last year. But yeah, very nice to finally be able to go through it, see what other cool things we can find. A lot of the stuff I won't be finding until I actually list it though, because it tends to remain hidden in the stuff, because you can't look at absolutely everything. Nice castle shield, another shield, and a coin, another coin, then a chrome knife there. More nice castle parts. Is that Lego? It is. Can't say I've seen a dinosaur jaw quite that small before. Another chrome knife there. Another ring. And then that one there is a flask. Don't find it in that one too often. I think that there's actually the beard for this torso that I looked up, so that's already getting more complete, so that is good. Another coin. Another stone. Haven't found one in dark pink in a while. I think that there's actually the helmet of the one guy from a previous, from earlier in this, or maybe the last lot, I'm not sure. And there's another helmet. Nice armor. That's not Lego. All cannons are pretty good. Nice shield. That is not Lego. The size is really off. Another coin. The stickers never really seem to come off of these parts too well, and you can almost always find a bit of residue on them. Another nice shield. Nice armor piece there. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of very nice parts in here that will be a lot of fun to list. And that there is the headgear from the one Indiana Jones minifigure. Set was canceled, so I think that one probably went up a little bit because it did not get a re-release like some of the other ones. A third one of these. Very nice there. Nice shield. Definitely starting to lose my voice. I've been recording a little bit too long. That is quite damaged there. It's a nice one there, and that is some nice barding there. Barding from older castle stuff. Usually a solid $20 to $30. Some are a little less on the 6-month average, but they'll still sell fine, even at those prices. So always a nice one there, and they always look pretty cool. That is not Lego either. Shield. Nice chrome. I'm not sure what that is. I think it's a bit of foam or something. Another nice shield. Jaw from a dragon. Another trumpet. Another nice helmet. Conquistador helmet. Just sold one of those 2 days ago, I think. Couple more nice shields. Another nice helmet. Yeah, undoubtedly we missed some stuff that is in this pile, but it will be found when we list it because we go through absolutely every single brick. At some point down the line, this here on this table is probably currently right about, well, if that one was about 2.5 and this one about 2, that'd be about 4.5, plus the stuff on the side. So about 7 to 8 pounds of minifigures in these lots. So that'll take, I just need to wash it and dry it, and then I'll probably be able to do my first sorting where I basically separate what we want to list from what we don't want to list, and then I separate out heavily damaged stuff, which I immediately just put in the garbage container, and then city stuff, which we'll list at a later date. So that first process for 8 pounds like this probably won't take more than like 4 to 5 hours or so. So we will be working on that probably sometime in the next few days. So it shouldn't take too long to get through some of this for the first sort, but then the rest of it we will have to list, because after that the stuff ends up in containers kind of like this one here and this one here, and there's a couple more over here as well that we do need to list, and so then all of that stuff needs to be quality checked and everything like that. So yeah, lots of stuff to do here, but yeah, this was definitely a fun one. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you got this far, links in the description if you're interested in any Lego. We go through a fair amount of Lego, so oftentimes we got a fair amount of stuff listed, and yeah, when we do list all of the stuff, if we can get that 10,000 lot goal that we want to aim for, we'll be going through this container as well. Lots of cool things in there. But yeah, thanks for watching if you got this far, and we'll be back next week with another minifigure lot video. But I almost forgot again, we can put this stuff into a container because that's always good fun. We'll need 2 containers for this probably. So we will do that. Didn't even notice it, but there is a vampire with his full cape. Grab another container. I think that is a Lord of the Rings head as well. I want to avoid accidentally putting the batteries that I've got lying here into this container, because washing those is probably not that good. And then I think I found the one Joker head that fell on the ground in the previous video. But yeah, then that is the end of this video. Thanks for watching if you got this far.